It was several years ago. I got here in '97. I want to say the early 2000s is when I believe it started taking place in the Diversity and Education Center at that time. And I want to say Black Grad was the first one for sure. And Dr. Devine was really involved at that time. This notion of really coming together as community, I think, was so crucial to students, and I also believe to faculty and staff too. You know, having that place of solidarity where you could come together and celebrate each other, and celebrate in ways that really brought you comfort, brought you joy, brought you a sense of community was really, really important.
Every ceremony is so significant in recognizing an important part of their history that is part of, you know, kind of the United States history, but it just hones it in and really allows people to come together, you know, at least once a year, be surrounded by people who have shared experiences and not kind of get diluted across our predominantly white and heteronormative kind of institution.
It provides a space for the students and their families to come and celebrate them in a little bit more of an intimate way, and they get their sarap pistol, which is really representative of the culture, and they wear that at graduation and during commencement, and there's a lot of pride that comes with that because we know that many of them are first generation students, and when they graduate, their whole family graduates, and it impacts the generations that come after them.
Well, I think it gets to the point where we start normalizing things that should be normal, like celebrating culture should be normal, and it's exciting to see that we've got something established now to keep it going on into the future. So that's really encouraging because it was a scrap. Teresa Devine was going around kind of asking people for support, and I think at one point she was paying for things out of her own pocket, and to see it kind of move to being a supported event at the top level from the president's office is full circle. And so that establishes it. It says that it's important, and it gives us a little bit more foundation to keep building on. So.
The funding that the President's Office has been able to give to students helps alleviate, you know, the stress of having to fundraise, you know, when you're a student with a full class load. Also on top of that, you know, being part of a club, community, a job, it's an extra burden to be able to try to find funding to be able to have a celebration that is about you. And so I think it's really exciting that the President's Office is able to do that, not only for the students, but also for the institution. I know that the university is trying to reach a level of a HSI, which is a Hispanic serving institution. And I think the office is really moving towards being able to fulfill that goal by making sure that they're prioritizing the students that they're trying to serve.
I think that it's very hopeful, especially because you know, more funding is always great, especially when it comes to supporting underserved students on campus and our marginalized groups, which is ultimately the Equity and Services Council and all the organizations.
That is very important, because at one point I thought it was questionable, but I think that whether the president or the institution funds these graduations or not, I think they will occur. Because the students want them and because they've become part of the fabric here at Central.
I got involved in the planning committee during fall quarter of this year because I'm a Metro board member, and so seniors are not allowed to plan the graduation. Everything is supposed to be a secret for them. So as a second year, it's kind of my job to step up and plan this for them. And I would say I got a lot more involved this quarter because my co-lead Yari, she went on vacation, so I ended up being the one going to some meetings.
So they're really prominent in the Latinx and Mexican culture. And they're really colorful stoles, and they're also part of our table runners and like decor, so there's stoles for this year.
It signifies an accomplishment not only for myself but my community, which will hopefully inspire students out there to know that they can accomplish the same things.
I brought my parents just because they always wanted to see this happen. They've always wanted to see me get a stole, get a degree, and so, you know.
The color lavender has a big significance for a few different reasons. The color purple on the pride flag symbolizes spirit, so that's why you see it on a lot of spirit days, anti-bullying campaigns, things like that nature. And then more specifically, the color lavender symbolizes a combination of the pink triangle, which was used in Nazi Germany to identify gay men, and the black triangle, which was used to identify lesbian political prisoners.
And I actually didn't know that lavender was a significant color to the community until I came here to Central. You know, I come from a place where a lot of the language and significant things, you know, all things queer, wasn't very accessible to me. Now I definitely cherish it as a color of, you know, new beginnings and, you know, finding out, you know, things that I didn't have access to and, you know, parts of my identity that I didn't have access to. I mean, lavender at this point holds a really significant meaning to me in that way.
I'm less stressed this year. Last year I feel like we were doing everything new for the first time and like learning all the university rules and kind of knowing all the procedures, and you know, this year I'm just like, we're just gonna have an easy breezy time. It'll be fun.
I feel like in my personal life it's harder to be out and proud with something like this. So being able to come in a group with like-minded individuals, it's easier and a lot more fun and free feeling. And I feel like others would feel the same way about it as well.
I brought my adopted father, my tatala. He has been super important in me coming to terms with who I am. I brought Paige because Paige is amazing and has been an amazing friend, amazing to work with, and I really respect her. I brought my partner Ganat because she loves me for every ounce of who I am.
I'm currently a board member of BSU, so since my sophomore year and also previously in high school. And I've always loved organizing with other students, with people who have similar goals to me or similar experiences to me. So, you know, I want to be a part of this Central legacy and Central's BSU legacy. So.
Decorations for this year, we wanted it to be vibrant. We wanted everyone to feel very like summertime. And for the food, we just went with jambalaya and sweet potato pie and sweet tea this year. We were really serious about the sweet tea. That was just because we kind of just sat down and talked about foods that we enjoyed from family members or from cookouts, and that's how we decided on it.
The kente cloth stole extends back to 400 years,
from 400 years ago and originates from Ghana. So these kente cloth stoles are worn for like ceremonies, festivals, child naming ceremonies, and other like special events like that. Yeah, the word kente comes from the word kenten, which means like woven basket. They wear these colors that honor unity and dignity as well.
To me, well, one, it's an identifier for my family who's going to be, in the stands. They can see the stole and be like, that's one of the Black graduates. Okay, so it narrows it down a little bit, and also just shows pride in my community and my history and the hard work that I've accomplished as a Black woman. That's what it is. It's the visibility and the representation and the pride that I take in my accomplishment.
I brought my mom, my older sister, and both of my nephews today. And so I basically just asked the family group chat, and my mom was the first person to come, obviously. That's my #1 supporter. My sister also up there as one of my top supporters.
We kind of based it off like the fan favorites, obviously. So we like the pancit and then the lumpia, and then I know that I was at last year's Phil Grad and a lot of people like the macaroons. So kind of just basing off what the people enjoyed last year from previous years and then kind of just building off that.
The colors here are red, white, and blue, which are the colors of the Filipino flag, and yellow. And we see that there are 3 stars here, which are also represented on the Filipino flag. The Filipino sun, which is a very traditional symbol in the Philippines. And then down here we have Central Washington University, just to kind of show where they're graduating from. And then Isang Bagsag, it's a unity statement made by Larry Itliong and Cesar Chavez. And it basically translates to one fall. And it's something that we do at the end of all our meetings. And it's a unity clap to show collaboration for the Filipino community.
So this specific ceremony is to recognize all of the Filipino and Filipino American students here at CU, and Central has been able to give the Filipino community here a significant event for those that will be graduating outside of Central.
For me, it's very significant because it's a unity thing, obviously, but it's a lot more of just a community like tightness.
So any students who hold any sort of marginalized identity, be that Hispanic, LGBTQ+, Filipino, Black, Japanese, so on and so forth, who are interested in participating in a graduation celebration or at least receiving some sort of solar recognition, you can reach out to us at diversity@cwu.edu for information. Follow any of the social media pages. These graduations started with one group of students who wanted to do a celebration for one identity group, and it has since expanded and gone from a $100 event to thousands and thousands of dollars. So we are always looking to expand. If there is a need for students on this campus to celebrate, we will do our best to find a way to make it happen. So just reach out to us, and we'll try to do our best to make sure that you're recognized for your achievements.